I'm right back with another video. It's 6:37 p.m. It is January 24th, Thursday evening. I am getting ready to jump into the shower, and then I'm going to go to bed. As you know, I am dealing with massive burnout and depression. I was thinking today about other people who go through depression. I know there's a lot of talk about clinical depression, and I personally don't necessarily agree, at least not in my case. Okay, I think when people talk about clinical depression, some of the people describe, everything was going well, and then all of a sudden something just kind of crept up on them, and they can't pinpoint why. They feel so depressed. Why is this darkness hanging over them? And when they can't really, everyday life, obviously, but it's almost like what they're describing is something that they're saying is inside of them. Like it's some sort of chemical imbalance or whatever. I really can't relate to that. Okay, I personally don't necessarily agree with clinical depression, only because in my situation, in any way, I'm not dealing with clinical depression. I'm dealing with severe depression based on this bullshit that's been going on for a very long time, and it's very hard to shake. And I wonder, am I ever going to be able to be okay again? And sometimes I have to be realistic about how I feel, because I have no idea to how to start my life over again. I mean, I have no idea on what I'm going to do next, what's going to happen to me. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. So I'm always in a constant state of depression. And it's been lasting for quite a long time. No, I do not need to be hospitalized. I'm not going to take medication. But I'm trying to just be honest with myself by talking through it myself, hearing myself talk. Um, I plan on doing other things to help me deal with these issues because, it's very heavy on me. And I know there's a lot of targets out there who are suffering because of this issue. And they want closure, and the sad part is we will never get proper closure. This is the most evil part, I think, about this, is that the people who got involved in this were willing to throw me under the bus and just hide. When closure is the most important thing that you could ever give a target, they don't want to show themselves. They want to, walk away from it, dust their hands off, and have a clean conscience about it. How could, how low these people are. And how can I respect that? How can I respect somebody basically forcing me to shoulder the burden for something I had nothing to do with at all? I had nothing to do with any of it. So it's changed my perspective on people in general, and it just clouds your outlook on life and any sort of future, because I don't know. I don't even plan or think about a future now, because I don't know what to think after all of this. It leaves you pretty, stagnant, or you're immobilized, or because you don't know what's going on. You have no idea. I just realized that these people have basically robbed me of my life and deprived me of everything that I ever cared about, and literally destroyed everything that I could ever care about. So, for no reason, okay? I was thinking a lot about the Facebook issue, and, how people were so quick to point a finger at me. I had no idea that this was going on. My views have changed on the people who got involved in this, and it's just like, I feel like I need to just forget everybody and not think about them or make any reference to them, like just completely purge them out of my memory bank. I'm so, you cannot tell me that this was some sort of help, it was some sort of friendly help, or that it was something that was done for my own well-being. You cannot tell me that, especially when I dealt with everything that led up to all of this, and the reactions of the people that were around me, and everything that I had to deal with. You cannot tell me that this was supposed to be a good thing. This was done maliciously, and it was completely uncalled for. Uncalled for. Um, and so here I am, an older woman, and basically lost. Completely, I have no idea. Like, I think the reason why I described this as rape before is because, I don't know these people that well for them to feel comfortable enough for them to, you know, invade my space and make life decisions for me. And I do. I compare it to the feeling of being raped. And then somebody throwing you out of a car and abandoning you. And in the situation that these people have done to me. Like, how do I get my life back? Or even, how do I even get myself in a better situation? I have no idea. It's like they scramble your life and they destroy everything. Every damn thing. And how could you say that you could forgive somebody for that? You can't, I deal with that every day. Not just the issues that would happen, but I keep thinking, what am I going to do now? That is my biggest issue. Like, I don't feel secure. I never feel safe. I'm always feeling like, you know, this bullshit is, like, constantly going to affect me for the rest of my life. And it will, in some way or another. So, yeah, I'm dealing with my depression, Like I said, I don't believe in clinical depression. I believe that people can pinpoint why they're feeling depressed. Now, I shouldn't say that for everybody, but at least for me, because, I'm not somebody who just feels depressed for no reason at all. I will say that people, outside forces, have always been the cause of my problems. I really do understand why my dad hated people. I see why he did. Because people cause nothing but problems. With their petty bullshit, they're nosy, they're intrusive, they're evil, they're competitive. I can see why he had that attitude. I see it. And now I'm starting to develop it. I'm not evil, but I just don't really want to mess with a lot of people. I mean, I want to be friendly. I do need a social life, but I have to be very careful about who I deal with. And even sometimes I can't really be, relied upon to have a social life because I go through these mood swings as a result of all of this. So there's times where, I just want to be off to myself. Like, I don't even want to deal with being stimulated. Now, when it comes to work, I know you got to get up, you got to work every day and whatever. I can work myself through it because it's a focus thing. But as far as like, hey, you're going to go out and do this and this and this, I can't really commit to things like that because of my depression. And how unfair. Every day I think about how unfair and how unjust and how people, how could somebody do this? How could somebody think for 1 minute that this was okay? Or that I was going to be okay with it. And they obviously knew I wasn't okay with it. They obviously knew good and well I wasn't okay with it. Because obviously they knew that I would have never put myself in a situation like this. That it would goes against everything I believe in. But they did it because they wanted to make me submissive or somehow make me bow down to their little structure system, which is bullshit. Okay, see these people? I don't know these people. Not really. As an adult, I don't know these people. Just because you knew someone in high school doesn't mean that you know them as an adult. And anyway, it's like I don't recall signing over my rights to these people. I mean, every day I feel the violation. I feel violated on a daily basis. Every day. So I was talking to my friend, about how I think that TIs should develop professional networks if, only for the sake of having that support there. Because, like, especially when it comes to the psychiatric issues, oftentimes, I don't believe that most people are experienced enough to deal with the kind of trauma that gang stalking causes. Unless, of course, you're a psychiatrist. And I'm sure there's a psychiatrist, there's psychologists, there's people in the mental health industry or background who are in this program. There's people from all walks of life in this program. And if people got together and started talking about, you know, what they do, and they could contribute to helping other people. Because really, you know, you talk about gang stalking to people, and they don't understand it. They think, well, you know, you'll say something along the lines of, well, people from high school or Facebook got together and started manipulating my life. They'll think, well, that's not normal. That's normal. They don't realize the snowball effect of everything that goes on with it. You know, the trauma, the abuse that goes on with it. Like, for example, and I'm going to mention this motherfucker one more time, okay? The Greg Barton issue, when I drove out to Palm Springs, 3 hours in the hot sun, only to be dicked over, okay? That's abuse, okay? Do not tell me that it's not abuse, okay? It's a goddamn hate crime. So when you see these sort of things and you deal with this sort of stuff, people don't realize that it is very traumatizing. And then constantly trying to, you're so terrified, like, I just want to be stable, I just want to settle down, I just want to be able to find a decent job and settle down and get this shit out of my life. But they persist on it, okay? I even thought about the cute guy in this issue, like, you know, how low in character this particular person is for being involved in something like this. Yeah, you know, somebody might be cute physically, but this to me is like, it's completely uncalled for, okay? So then I have to deal with the memories and the ideas of people that I held in high regard, and I have to rethink things all through and see these people for what they really are, you know? And it's more and more, I'm just disgusted by people. Disgusted, you know? Yeah, you know, so in the next couple months, you know, I know, I'm talking to a friend. She wants to get more involved in TI organizations. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a part of an organization. I do want to get more organized to produce better videos, which I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and I need to get myself, you know, geared up for that. But I do want to express more of my feelings on my depression and how I'm going along with dealing with it, because it's very, it's a struggle. It's a struggle because it really, I don't feel motivated. Where's the motivation? You know, is my life ever going to get better? Or is I'm going to be stuck in this bullshit life forever? I mean, I don't know what to expect anymore. I feel like my life was taken from me, is how I feel. There is no amount of apologies that could make up for it. These people committed a serious crime and then hid their faces and acted as if, oh, you know, it's okay, or just kind of sweep it under the rug. How do you live with yourself? And if you can live with yourself, you're even lower than I thought. If you can shrug this off and think, oh, it's okay that I ruined a woman's life who was struggling in the first place, and I ruined her life, I'm okay with that. If you're okay with it, you are the lowest piece of shit on the face of this earth. Period. Okay? So anyway, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to get ready for bed. I try to shut my brain off early in the evening. I don't like to have too much to think about. I know that I'm trying really hard to think about everything that I feel and express it, you know, and that's really important for me. And I think it's important for all TIs to be able to express it. Even if you can just write it out, or even go for a walk and just kind of talk to yourself and just express it. Have yourself hear what you're saying. It's really important. Until you can find someone else that you can talk to. Now, luckily, I do have a friend that I talk to. But you need a sounding board, you know, and this is where I'm saying when this whole TI network would be a good idea, because, you know, you have people from various fields that you could maybe not trust. I mean, it's hard to trust anybody in this world, but who could lend a hand depending on whatever they do. Because some, like for example, some TIs don't want to go to doctors. They don't want to deal with doctors at all. Any kind of doctor. I'm not talking about mental health professionals. I'm talking about any doctor at all. Okay? Because they've lost trust in them. There are TIs who work in the medical profession. If they're in the same area or something, ideally, you know, it'd be nice if people did keep in touch and there was a network system to where TIs knew of other TIs in the area. But the point is, they try to isolate you to the point of where that doesn't happen. But I don't know. I think it's something that people need to talk about a little bit more, because, you know, I know one of the reasons why I let my laptop die is because I didn't know exactly who was behind it at the time, but I knew I was getting gang stalked. And No, I don't do anything on my computer. I mean, I'm the most boring person in the world, but it's still my computer. I'm not going to let people, I figured everything that I did at that point was just public business. People were throwing my shit out in the street all the time. And I just felt like, good grief. So, when it comes to like computer repair, computer programming, those sort of things, there's TIs who used to do those sort of things, or still do, or whatever, that can lend a hand in situations like that. People who understand how this program works could be of great help to other TIs if we pulled our resources together, is basically what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to take my little shower, and then I'm going to head to bed. I'm going to be making more videos, and I'm very grateful for the people who have subscribed to me, the TIs, not the perps peeking in, but the TIs who have subscribed to me and have, posted some, great comments on my channel, and, basically expressing their ability to relate to the feelings. Yes, it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare that you wake up every day and it's horrible. It's horrible. It is not something that, because I can't explain it unless, of course, you're a TI. And if you're a TI, you know what I'm talking about. But it's very painful. It's a very painful experience to go through. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I will be back with another one later. Take care. Bye-bye.